Today we're making Latin style grain bowls. These are quick, especially if you have leftovers on hand, healthy and delicious. So let's get cooking. To make our grain bowl, we are of course going to start with the grains. You can use any kind of cooked grain that you like. I happen to have some arroz a la mexicana on hand, so I will add a scoop or two of that to my bowl. Now, if you're looking for a grain that has a bit more protein, you can't go wrong with quinoa, which happens to be native to Peru, or one of my personal favorites, farro. And I had that in the fridge as well, so I'm going to put some in my bowl. Now onto the beans. Beans, we'll call these optional, but highly recommended. I always put some in my grain bowls and generally love beans in just about any dish I can include them in. I have some pinto beans here, so we'll put a spoonful of those or two. And I just made a batch of Cuban style black beans, so definitely need to include those as well. Now, if you don't like beans, you could go with some roast chicken, leftover pork, steak, sliced hard-boiled egg. Really, any of those things would be great. Totally up to you. You could have those as well as beans as well. Okay, so if you haven't figured it out yet, this is a fairly shameless advertisement for some of the other recipes on the channel. So far, there are at least 1, 2, 3 included, not to mention the condiments that we're going to get to. So links to all of those are going to be below. I'm going to warm this up. You can eat your grain bowl room temperature, hot, anywhere in between, and that is great if you are, say, serving a buffet or having this for a quick lunch. Works great at pretty close to room temperature as well. Just probably not cold. Those grains get a little bit chewy when they're cold. All right, I'm gonna warm this up and be right back. All warmed up and ready for some toppings. So I will add at least one thing that's got some richness. In this case, we're going to go with a bit of avocado. Slice that right in its peel and kind of slide the bits of avocado out onto the bowl like that. Try and fan them out for presentation, but you know what? It all goes down the same way. I'm going with a bit of cheese too. If you like sour cream, that's always a nice touch. I've got some crumbled queso fresco, so I'm gonna pop that in here. And now for something bright. In this case, definitely some tomatoes. You could use lime. I'm going to dress the whole thing with a few lime wedges. When we're done, here we go. Some fresh onions are good, or if you have them on hand, and you might, if you found this recipe on the channel, some escabeche, which is just Mexican styled, lightly pickled onion and chiles. So I'm gonna put a few of those on here as well, like that. And for me, one more thing besides that final squeeze of lime. I do like things picante, so I'm going to add a few spoonfuls of salsa verde. And that completes my grain bowl. We sure hope you give this a try. You check out any and all of the other videos that will be listed below. And while you're at it, like, subscribe, and definitely come back every Friday for a new recipe.